Oh, look at him. Police officer or former police officer Joseph Harris. He looks like a good old boy who doesn't mean any harm.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
He's not. He's a tyrant who attacked and brutalized Billy Lee Corum in the back of his patrol cruiser. And the police department says they're outraged at the now fired officer's beating of this inmate. Guess what? No, they're not. Just because they fired him doesn't mean they're outraged. If they were truly outraged, they would initiate unbridled, unmitigated justice on this guy and they would throw his ass in jail. I'm not going to show this video, but I will leave a video link to the full video in the description and in the pinned comment so that you can take a look at it. But I do want you to know that Chille DeCastro from Delete Laws has called the Jonesboro, this is, by the way, this is the Jonesboro Police Department, and Chille has called the Jonesboro Police Department and contacted a Sergeant Holmes from the Jonesboro Police Department. You are not going to believe what this guy says about video evidence of an actual crime and what they cannot do because they weren't there. Check this out.
How are you, sir? My name's Chille DeCastro, and I was on the line this morning, and we seen this Joseph Harris. We seen it. We all seen it. We was all watching, and we seen, because we love the police. We're big police supporters around here. And I'll tell you what I seen, and I tell you, I couldn't be more mad right now. I'm just because all we ever do is sing the police's praise and how good you guys are and how you always are getting a bad rap because we know it's only a few bad apples over there, and so we know that, but we didn't hear no announcement. Joseph Harris got himself arrested and put in that dungeon like would happen to any other person when they tried to kill somebody else.
Okay.
Did you see the beating that Joseph Harris did? Did you see him slam that man, Billy Lee Corum's head in the car door twice? Did you see that?
We've all seen the video, sir, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
So that's an admission. They've all seen the video. I mean, I'm just going to take this guy at his words. Again, this is Sergeant Holmes from the Jonesboro, Arkansas Police Department. They said they've all seen this video where he was attacked and brutalized, mercilessly beaten by Officer Joseph Harris, who was only fired. So they've all seen the video. Wait till you guys see the video.
But nothing made me more mad.
That's pretty good.
I brought
That's a pretty good accent you got.
Well, I don't understand. Now you're making fun of my accent. I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
So I'm just asking, was Joseph Harris was arrested? That's all.
And we don't, there's been no charges filed against him for us to make an arrest.
Oh, shoot. Well, now we know that it's 80-90% good cops. So if it's 80-90% good cops, then which one of them good cops is going to go ahead and head on down, grab a hold of Joseph Harris and put him in them cuffs?
Exactly.
Well, we would need a warrant of arrest from the prosecuting attorney's office to effect that arrest.
We're going to find out later that either Sergeant Holmes is ignorant or he's outright lying, because that is absolutely not true. Stay tuned.
Shoot, you know what? I'll tell you what, my brother-in-law, he's a real son of a gum. And I went down one day and I threw him on the ground, and that was on video. And my wife, she called the police on me. They came right down right away when they seen it on video, and they just arrested me. So couldn't something like that happen if you see?
I hope they didn't.
What?
I hope they didn't.
Oh, you mean you can't get arrested if you see assault on video?
That's correct.
Oh, so then I was wrongfully arrested because they seen the assault on video.
Like it.
Oh, so you mean assault on video is perfectly legal?
I'm not telling you assault is legal in any form, but if it's a fight and it's on video, that's a misdemeanor that did not occur in my presence. And if it's a battery 3, that's not enough for me to arrest somebody on site because I wasn't there to see it.
So based on that logic, if a camera takes a picture of your license plate while you're going through a toll booth, you don't have to pay that because they didn't personally see it with their own eyes. Or maybe a camera takes a picture of you at a stoplight without a seatbelt, Or maybe it takes a picture of you going through the stoplight and then they issue you a ticket. You don't have to pay the ticket because no human being personally saw you in real time. That's his logic here. And you're going to find out, number one, again, he's either ignorant or he's a bold-faced liar, because we're going to pull up the Arkansas revised statutes on this exact incident.
So, but you can see Joseph Harris just beating the Godzilla right
No,
at.
I didn't see that, sir. I saw a video of that, and it had already occurred.
Oh,
12 hours before it happened.
Is that?
Before I saw it.
What the flip?
Well, I didn't know that was the standard. I didn't know you could beat somebody on video and it wasn't assault because it's only on video.
I didn't. It's not assault. It's battery.
Oh.
But also, no. A video is not enough after the fact for us to make an arrest.
So he says, we've all seen the video. And then he testifies that what Joseph Harris did to this poor innocent dude, well, I don't know what the charge was, but he didn't deserve to get bludgeoned and beaten and victimized and attacked. So the Sergeant Holmes from the Jonesboro Police Department, Jonesboro, Arkansas Police Department, admits that they've all seen it. And then he corrects Chille and said, oh, that wasn't assault. That was battery. So he saw the battery with his own eyes. Yeah, it was video. He didn't see it in real time, but he knows what happened, but he refuses to go after this guy and put him in jail, thereby protecting society, because that's why you would do it. It's the just thing to do. When somebody especially somebody who's in an authority position, he knows his body cam's going, he knows this in-cab dash cam is going in his patrol car, and he decides to brutalize this guy and attack him and commit a crime against him anyway, and this sergeant will not go after him for the sake of society. That tells you everything you need to know about the Jonesboro Police Department. This guy's a sergeant. Keep on listening, though. There's more.
You need a warrant of arrest for whatever the charge.
No, you don't. We're going to see that in their own revised statutes.
The prosecuting attorney's office says is, applicable to that. Which is not something that I've seen yet. I've not seen a warrant for his arrest.
Okay. So you're telling me you can see an assault on video. You can see a man drop elbows 4 in a row as he tries to clear the man's leg. We watched it back in slow motion. We seen it.
Yes,
and that's not assault though, huh?
No, it's battery, sir.
Oh, it's battery. I figured
it is battery.
It was assault with intent to commit
I would call it assault and battery. I would call it first degree battery.
Great bodily harm. That's what I thought it was.
No, sir. No, it's battery in the state of Arkansas. If you injure someone, assault is the risk of injury.
Yeah, and battery is worse than assault. And this Sergeant Holmes from the Jonesboro Police Department is admitting that that's what Joseph Harris did. He battered Billy Lee Corum.
See, because I figured if this was me on video doing this, that I'd have all the police out front with guns drawn, screaming, "Show me your hands! Come on out now, Curtis!" And I tell you, I wouldn't want to come out, but I would because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But you're telling me now that you can't do nothing, and you're one of the good cops, but you can't do nothing about it.
I'm telling you that if that situation were 2 civilians, then no, sir. I could watch that video and I'd say, well, let's take a report on that, and then you're going to have to follow up and go file an affidavit with the prosecuting attorney's office. That's what I tell you.
Again, according to Arkansas revised statutes, this is a lie, or Holmes is completely ignorant, which means he doesn't need this job because his whole job is to know what the laws are, and he doesn't. And let's just stop for a second and appreciate what Chille's doing here. This is a valuable public service, exposing this corruption, exposing the tyranny, and the fact that Holmes absolutely doesn't care about the public because he's not going to go apprehend somebody who's a known criminal.
Holy smokes. So to us watching this, it looks like attempted murder to me. It looks like he slammed his head in the...
With Chille's chipped tooth and the Arkansas accent, he would fit in perfectly in Arkansas.
The car door.
I would go so far as to agree with you that there is a strong violation of that young man's civil rights, but that is not a local or state prosecution. That is a federal prosecution.
Oh,
in other words, Chille, we're not interested in exacting justice here in Arkansas, at least not in Jonesboro.
feds want to pick this up, then that's where it goes. We don't have anything like the color of law and civil rights violations that's in state statute that I know of. And I've been doing this a long time.
I'm sorry.
That stuff usually has to come from the feds.
I'll tell you what, my brain's popping right now a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're saying don't make sense. What you're saying to me is that you're allowed to assault somebody on video, elbow drop them, slam their head in a car door, and the federal government, the federal agency, has to then come in and arrest that copper instead of.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the civil rights violation comes from the feds. If the prosecuting attorney writes out a warrant, then we would arrest whoever, the Joseph Harris, the Joe Smith, whoever. Once we have a warrant in hand, yes, but there's been no warrant to my knowledge, so we don't have the ability to go arrest anybody.
Don't need one.
Oh, you have no ability to make an arrest. It's not possible.
Okay.
But no.
Don't twist my words.
Don't twist my words. He literally said that. He just recited his words. Listen, we're going to listen again.
You just said it yourself.
We don't have the ability to go arrest anybody.
We don't have the ability to go arrest anybody. Yes, you absolutely do. As a matter of fact, in the revised statute, stay tuned. I'm going to show it to you. Not only does a law enforcement agent have the ability and the duty to go arrest somebody, so does a private person who's not law enforcement. Stay tuned. We're going to look at it. It's in their own law.
Legal authority to make an arrest on Joseph Harris. I do not. No police officer that I know does at this point without a warrant in hand.
It's just a lie.
Listen,
it's just a lie.
You know, I do this a lot. You know, I mean,
I can tell.
No, we call over to police departments when we see stuff that makes the good cops look bad, and we call over there. Everything's recorded. We are just vigilant about it because we want to back the blue. But the problem here is now you're telling me stuff that don't make no sense. You're saying that
it does make sense.
Oh, so you're telling me if I was caught, now just answer my question here, sir. If you're telling me if I was on a video slamming my dumb brother-in-law's head over and over and over, dropping elbows and slamming his head in a car door, you wouldn't bring no charges against me. You'd say you got to call the feds.
And he's saying slamming his head in the car door because Joseph Harris slammed Corum's head in the car door twice after delivering multiple punches, multiple elbows to a handcuffed man in the back seat of a patrol cruiser on camera.
Can't bring charges.
Oh, really? Because when I got arrested before, I was arrested by the cop who said I assaulted somebody, and he didn't see nothing. The guy just said I assaulted him, and I got arrested. He just said so.
So you put somebody at risk of injury by words or actions. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They said that I said something. They said that I did something. No copper was there to see it, and they straight arrested me. Took me down to the dungeon. Took me 4 days to get out.
Holmes is trying to clarify for Chille the difference between assault and battery. And there is a difference between assault and battery. Battery is way worse than assault.
But you can't, you watch a video and you can't do nothing about it. You sound like you're irritated with me when really you should be irritated with Joseph.
I'm not irritated at all. I just know that this is I think their second or third time that we've covered this. Battery in the third degree is not arrestable unless I see it.
So he's specifying what he thinks Joseph Harris did. I personally think it's battery in the second degree at the very least, maybe even the first degree. But Sergeant Holmes here is being very specific on the crime that he thinks Joseph Harris committed on video, but is unwilling to go and apprehend that criminal. And why? Because it's the blue line wall of silence. It's the blue line code where we take care of our own and we look the other way, but we're not looking the other way for you. And that's the point Chille's trying to make here.
I'm sorry. What was your name again, Sergeant?
Holmes, Holmes.
Sergeant Holmes. So I can quote you on that. I can quote that in my article here. I can
a misdemeanor battery that doesn't occur in an officer's presence is not an arrestable offense.
Let me show you why that's a lie. Let's take a look at this. This is the Arkansas revised statute. This is under the authority to arrest. Take a look at this. An arrest may be made by a certified law enforcement officer or by a private person. So you don't have to be a cop to make an arrest. So what are the parameters? In obedience to a warrant of arrest delivered to him or her. So you can arrest based on a warrant. That's one option, like Holmes said. But Holmes is saying that we can only arrest Joseph Harris if we have a warrant. There's no other way I can arrest him. It specifically says without a warrant or a public offense is committed in his or her presence, or it's a beautiful word, or is one of the most beautiful, fantastic words I've ever seen in my entire life. Or where he or she has reasonable grounds for believing that the person arrested has committed a felony. I would say that video evidence of a crime that was committed by a person for all to see is reasonable grounds for believing that the person arrested has committed a felony, and he has indeed. So what Holmes says to Chille here is an outright lie, and the guy knows he's lying or he's ignorant of his own laws, which if that's the case, then he shouldn't be a law enforcer. Because, buddy, you had one job, Sergeant Holmes, to know the law and to enforce the law. But either you don't know it or you do know it, and you're lying to Chille right now. Because you can arrest without a warrant if the crime was not committed in your presence, if you have video evidence, which is reasonable grounds to arrest the felon. In this case, ex-officer Joseph Harris. Unfrickin' believable.
In the state of Arkansas.
Oh, but this went far beyond misdemeanor assault. He dropped elbows into the side of the man's head as he was cuffed.
Battery, sir. You keep saying assault. You're conflating two different things.
Oh.
It's so funny that he keeps arguing with Chille, and he's right. He's right. This is battery. When you see the video, you're like, yeah, the guy was absolutely battered. This is beyond assault. And again, I would call it assault and battery, because assault deals with threats. This is what I'm going to do to you. Battery is, I'm doing it to you. So it's assault and battery. In my opinion, the battery is at least second degree, if not first degree battery. And we could take a look at that right here. Later, Holmes is going to cite 513-203. The person recklessly causes physical injury to another person, and Harris does that to Coram. But you can see right here, first degree battery brings a sentence from 5 to 40 years to life. You may be charged with first degree battery if you do any of the following: physically injure another person using a deadly weapon, and you can say elbows and fists and a car door are deadly weapons. Seriously and permanently disfigure another person, seriously injuring a person manifested by absolute indifference to the value of human life. And that's what Joseph Harris manifests. It can also fit the second degree battery criteria, and it can also fit the third degree battery criteria. I'm in the camp of it's at least second degree battery, and I think when you see the video, you will agree. Let's go back to this video right here.
Oh, so would it be assault for me, but not assault for Mr. Harris?
It's never assault.
Never. Oh,
It's battery.
it's always battery. It's always battery. So there's no assault charges anymore? Is there an assault charge in Arkansas?
Yes, there's assault and then there's battery.
We should probably all brush up on the difference between assault and battery, because it does tend to be a little bit vague, a little bit complex. But this is a pretty good summary. Assault refers to the wrong act of causing someone to reasonably fear imminent harm. This means that the fear must be something a reasonable person would foresee as threatening to him, and battery refers to the actual wrong act of physically harming somebody. That is the less complex and more simple way of putting it.
Hypothetically, if you could actually charge someone for trying to kill someone on camera, what charge would that be for this man?
Those are your words. You know, I mean, we're all entitled to an opinion.
I love the fact that Chille roped Sergeant Holmes from the Jonesboro Police Department into defining assault and defining battery, and then laying the charge of battery at the feet of ex-officer Joseph Harris, because this is evidence that the sergeant knows exactly what's going on, Probably all of his underlings and everybody in the police department, according to Holmes, knows what's going on. And yet they're not willing to do anything about it so that they can keep the public, at least Jonesboro, Arkansas, safe from ex-officer Joseph Harris.
Well,
But
did we see the same video, Mr. Holmes?
Which charge do you want?
Well, I'll take them both. How about that?
Okay. 513-203.
513-203. Let's write that down,
Yeah.
and that's an Arkansas code.
Yes, Arkansas code annotated.
Okay.
And then what else are you wanting? Assault, just generally?
Yeah, because I mean, and can you just explain to me the difference between battery and assault, so I know the difference?
So assault is 513-207.
Okay.
So the whole thing, assault and battery, are in Title 5.
Okay.
And then Chapter 13.
Okay.
So they're both related to each other, but they're different charges. So battery, third degree, is with the purpose of causing physical injury to another person. The person causes physical injury to any person. The person recklessly causes physical injury to another person. So that's battery. And then assault is if he or she purposely creates apprehension of imminent physical injury in another person.
Oh,
So
shoot.
basically, you make somebody fearful that they will be injured is assault.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
oh, okay. So assault is not assault like us laypersons think. Assault is when you like are menacing or threatening or making someone think you're going to beat them up.
That is correct.
Okay. So battery is where they actually do the beating, right?
That is when someone causes physical injury to another person.
Mm-hmm. And then when they knock them unconscious, right? That's a different kind of charge.
Yes.
Right.
Well, no, not really. No.
You know what's interesting about this? When I put in to a Google search, define assault, it actually says make a physical attack on. He pleaded guilty to assaulting a police officer. A physical attack, a concerted attempt to do something demanding. Assault can be a physical attack. That's why it's kind of confusing. It's kind of complex. It's kind of muddled. So when you say assault, it almost sounds like battery, because battery is to make the physical attack on. But as we read over here, assault refers to the wrong act of causing somebody to reasonably fear, and battery refers to the actual wrong act of physically harming somebody, when this definition right here sounds like the assault is the battery. And that's why I think there's confusion about this.
So if Mr. Coram were to, I wouldn't say come to us, but prosecutor somebody, and he shows that he has some sort of protracted disfigurement, broken bones that would cause him lifelong impairment, something like that, then that could be a different level of battery.
Okay.
Because of the way state statute defines physical injury and serious physical injury.
Would you consider that a serious physical injury when you're dropping
I
elbows?
don't know what his injuries are, sir.
Oh, so it matters how badly he's injured.
That's another thing. Why doesn't Holmes know what the extent of Coram's injuries are? I mean, one of his officers, this guy, Holmes is a sergeant. One of his officers laid hands on a person. Wouldn't you see that it's your job, it's your duty to find out what kind of harm was inflicted by this guy? Do you really have that much disdain for the public to not ferret out the information and the truth about the extent of Coram's injuries? Officer Holmes, Sergeant Holmes. Sergeant Holmes should be fired.
So if you've seen a video of me doing that to my brother-in-law, which I would like to get him I'd like to put him down like a dog. Okay, but if I did that to my brother-in-law and you seen that and someone sent you that video anonymously and you seen it, I wouldn't get arrested. They would just be like, well, I didn't see it in real life, so he gets away with it. Ha ha.
No, without a warrant, sir. No.
But didn't I,
I can't just go arrest somebody on a video. It already happened. It already occurred. I don't have, in Arkansas, I don't have the ability to go on a battery later and arrest somebody without a warrant.
That's a lie. According to their own revised statute, not only can you, but a person who's not law enforcement can do it. We've already established that.
So because you didn't witness the beating yourself, but so he got fired. Now that's it. So now we're supposed to be okay with all of it. Now we seen it all on video.
No,
but what?
I don't want you to be okay with it at all.
Right. So which good cop's going to go arrest him? Is there a prosecutor over there that we can give a call to and let them know that the people want to see this man prosecuted for attempted murder?
The prosecutor for the 2nd Judicial District is Sonia Haygood.
Sonia Haygood. So Chille calls Sonia Haygood and leaves a message on her phone. But this is Coram in the back seat. It looks like initially they're hotboxing him, or maybe he has drugs in his system or whatever, causing his head to profusely sweat. But he's extremely agitated, begging the officer, "Hey, I've got inside of me. I need to be taken to the hospital. They already did an image scan of my stomach. There's a packet of inside of me. I've got proof of that. I need you guys to do something." And they weren't responding to his cries for help. So he was getting desperate, and he ends up putting the seatbelt around his neck to try to choke himself out. That's when Harris got involved and just absolutely wailed on and attacked him. And again, I will leave this full video, this full uncut in police car video in the description in the pinned comment. Most of the time, my pinned comments disappear if I put a link. So just be sure to look for this link in the description. I'll also leave the link to Chille's channel. That's Delete Laws. There's also Delete Laws clips. You'll want to go and you'll want to support him. He's doing a really good job over there. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my brand new channel called The Disturbing Illusion, where I expose the nonsense of the left versus right paradigm dog and pony show under the political big top. And of course, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a design that you can put on a hat, shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, pillowcase, whatever you want. Become a channel member, but more importantly, we've got tyranny afoot, and there are people conspiring to take our rights away. We've got to stand for our rights. If we don't stand for them, we will lose them. Yeah, I get it. Freedom is dangerous, but the only thing more dangerous is not having freedom. I'll see you guys in the next video.